Are we live? I think we are. Welcome to our second show of Reseller Tea. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Kanisha.
There you go. And we are resellers. We also work in the medical field, crazy medical field, crazy. And we try to do this at least once a week, but things come up, life comes up. So we skipped last week, but we're here for the third week, which is good. And so why don't you type all your stuff in the comment box so everyone knows where to contact you, and introduce yourself again, because we might have new people that might watch the replay.
That's true. Okay, well, I am Dr. Kanisha because I am a pharmacist by trade. And I always say reseller by night. And eBay is definitely my main bay right now because I have quit Poshmark. Unless I will actually, if you buy something still, I will send it to you. But I am not sharing and I am not listing new items on there. What else do I want to tell you guys? I started reselling in 2017 when I was almost done paying off my pharmacy school student loans. So that kind of helped me close things out there. So, yeah.
Good. Hello, everyone. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer, and I've been reselling probably since 2016. I've been a nurse since 2015. And I always knew I wanted to own my own business, have something personal on my side generating income. And so I have put my Poshmark closet on hold. If you want to go see my video of how I got banned, it's just crazy. That platform is nuts. Very cray. So I'm currently has stopped my eBay store also. If you see all the bins behind me, I'm going to be liquidating all these clothes and getting rid of everything and starting from scratch.
Whoa.
Because I really want to redo everything in my store, in my eBay store, and I might be shifting. I will always be selling clothing because I know the brands. I'm very familiar, but I do want to get more into wholesale, liquidation, hard goods, more of a consistent source where I can get product, because living out here in California and sourcing at thrift stores is just getting harder and harder. Can you find good stuff at thrift stores? Of course, especially in California. But number one is all the Goodwills know their name. They know all the brand names. They're not dumb. They're not like uneducated. They skyrocket everything high up. And it's a very high competitors out here. There's a lot of resellers out here that are going to the Goodwill. You can still thrift and still make a profit, but it's just more time consuming, where I think you can have the product delivered to your home, list it, and there you go. You're not searching for all of this product. So we are here. We're going to be talking about mental health, how to keep your work-life balance going up. I've been struggling with that past couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I've had to go back into the workforce field because my business is just not making enough to pay my bills. And also there's a lot of resellers out there that are showing like how much they made, how much their, profit. And I want everyone to know everyone's business numbers is different. Everyone has different goals in their business, and everyone has been reselling at a different time frame. There is someone that came out that said that they were making $35,000 on 5-year, that freelancing website where you can go on and sell your services and also buy services. In my opinion, $35,000 is not worth my time. $35,000 is below poverty line. It's below. So that's someone, and I'm probably gonna get hate. I don't mean to, but that is someone that is like $35,000 is someone that works like at McDonald's. There's nothing wrong with people that work at McDonald's, the food service. I eat there all the time, but $35,000 in 1 year is not enough to pay my bills. It's just not worth it.
It's a side hustle.
Yeah, it's a nice side hustle. Like if you're working full time and then you're making $35,000 on top of that, yes. But if you're just doing that, that's not profitable to me. That doesn't make me want to get up and go on that website and start selling my services. It just doesn't. So everyone needs to be mindful of what everyone's business numbers are. I know what I need to make, exactly what my sell-through rate needs to be in order for me to quit my job and go full time in my business. I know that you need to know your numbers in your business. You can't just be like selling stuff and just hoping one day I'm going to make enough. No, you actually need to know what's selling, what's not selling, and all this stuff in the background probably had before pre-pandemic. So it's just not going to sell. So I need to get rid of it, liquidate it, redonate it, put it as a loss, and move on.
No, I totally understand what you mean. And it's hard though, because I know you've been talking to, because we're accountability partners. So you've been talking to me about really knowing my numbers, and I'm still struggling and yet working on that in the same sense. Because it's like, what are those numbers? To say that, okay, that if I did make this amount per month, sold this exact amount of items, that let's say you would be able to leave your job. And so I do need to know those numbers because it tells you where you're actually going. So
Yes.
otherwise, you're just wandering aimlessly. So currently, that must be what that means for me. So I'm working on it. But yeah, I've been struggling too because it's just like, because I work in a hospital. So I'm just, I always say I'm kind of just trying to keep my head up.
Right.
Like when I start putting my head down and I'm feeling sorry for myself and I'm feeling exhausted and I'm feeling, like you're burning the candle at both ends, it's just a lot. And you're looking at your sales and you're like, okay, those aren't there. You're not bringing in the money. And you're wondering one day, because I'm like, it's okay to have bigger goals than where you are right now. So you want to go as needed at your job or whatever. That would be awesome, to be honest, right? And to be doing your own business full time. There's nothing wrong with wanting more than where you are, but you've got to know how to get there.
Yeah, definitely. Because you want to be able to really know what you need to do, have a plan, set your goals. I mean, I know a lot of people say that on social media, what are your goals? What are your plan? No, but that really does work. If you write down, this is my goal. I need to make $10,000 a month to be full time. I know that I cannot make less than $10,000 a month to go full time. That is enough to cover all my bills in my business. That is enough to cover all my personal bills and to pay taxes and to still pay myself. And that's $10,000 in sales, which will equal out for me to actually cut a paycheck for myself. It's not $10,000 in my pocket that I'm going to go, woof,
Right.
but that's $10,000 and then minus everything else and still have enough left to live comfortably. Not like I'm going to be going to the Louis Vuitton store every week, but it just would be living comfortably because California is extremely expensive. We're one of the highest cost of living states. Actually, our governor is thinking of doing $1,000 a month payments for all Californians. It's called like a living wage because it's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. I have a friend who lives in a 2-bedroom apartment and she's paying close to $1,900 a month.
That's insane. That would get you a really fat, nice house in Texas. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Really nice.
Yeah, and I bought my home a long time ago in 2006, so I know I'm paying what people are paying apartments now. They're not paying for like a big home.
Right.
So, so that has to go into consideration. So when you hear other resellers saying, "Oh, I make 6 figures," that's great. That is what a goal I would love to achieve. But you also have to know, you don't know their personal finances. You don't know where they're coming from and how long it took for them to get there. I know there's a reseller. His name is Nick. I know he came out saying he just reached 100,000 on Poshmark. Took 5 years. Wow. One of the biggest closets on Poshmark, who has grossed over $1 million, is Affinity Rain. They have a storefront and they've been selling on Poshmark, I think, since Poshmark opened. Like they've been on Poshmark for the long haul. And they hit, I don't know the year that they hit their $1 million in sales because they have zero social media. None. They don't have an Instagram. They don't have no website. They don't promote their business. And that's just part of their business plan. They don't want to have it out there like that. people thinking if I'm going to open up a YouTube channel, I'm going to start making millions and millions of dollars. It doesn't work that way. YouTube is a lot of work. It's a lot of work to make content, number one, to pick a topic that's actually going to bring viewers to your channel. You can pick any topic. It doesn't matter, but are people really going to watch it? So you really have to research. With TubeBuddy, I use TubeBuddy. That kind of guides me. Hey, I want to make a video on this. And then TubeBuddy kind of guides me. Well, let's niche it down, as they say, to bring in more followers or to bring in more views. And so that's what I use. And then that kind of guides me on which content to make and to bring in is more people. I haven't posted a video in a while. That is one of my goals. That is on my list. I'm going to make some content. I do post a lot on Instagram. It's just convenient because it's on my phone. Do it really quick and post it. So
for sure. Because then I also use the TubeBuddy as well. And so it is nice to help you with just coming up with titles and just using the keywords. So it really is helpful. And YouTube is difficult. I posted a video like yesterday, and then they're like, don't look at your analytics every day. I look at my analytics like 42,000 times a day. Okay.
I am obsessed with my analytics. I did take off some videos that were just like not performing. I said 1 view in a year. That's kind of embarrassing. I'm just going to delete this shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's just freaking horrible.
But then you never know if somebody goes back. Like, after you make it, right? You start monetizing, people will go back and watch. You never know.
Exactly. So.
But I'm like, I keep thinking though, I'm sure looking at my analytics 42,000 times a day is not good for like my mental, my actual mental health and stuff. Because all day I'm like, okay, 4,000 watch hours. Okay, I'm only at 127.2. And I'm like, I'm treating it like Poshmark sharing. I have a problem. And so it's like, it's super important to, I guess, right, to really pay attention to what you're doing with your time too. Because I mean, choosing more things that bring us self-care would be better, right? Maybe setting my phone aside and taking some time to breathe or meditate or whatever would probably be better than checking my analytics all day long.
Right.
I'm at work going, what's my analytics? What's going on? How many views? Yeah. I'm just like, it's too much.
Yeah. And there is a lot of YouTube channels that opened during the pandemic, because like mine opened during the pandemic. I think I made one video like a long time ago of me going to Comic-Con. I just didn't really I didn't have videos of like myself talking, you know what I mean? And I think once you get over that urge of talking in front of a camera, because people think that you can just jump on the camera and just like, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work that way. You have to really like get comfortable talking in front of a screen, like no one's talking back to you. So
you have to get some bullet points of what you want to say.
Right.
It doesn't quite come out even how you think it will. You're like, well, what did I even say?
Yeah.
That's true. So it's like the reselling and then being on camera on YouTube and trying to find different streams of income. It's all a lot. I figure, there has to be something bigger and better for my life. And you're like reaching for all these things. And a lot of them take a lot of attention, a lot of time, a lot of effort, and sometimes skill, right? Which sometimes you gain over time, but it's the learning curve for, YouTube, the learning curve for reselling and time management and prioritizing is a lot.
Yes.
And it's okay, I guess, we're saying all of this to say that it's okay if I heard I don't know what I was listening to today. Maybe it was, I don't know if it was the TV in the little room at my hospital, but it was like, it's okay to say that you're not okay. To say, I'm overwhelmed. There's just too much going on at work, too much going on at home, and sometimes you want to be a slug and eat potato chips and ice cream. And that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. You just like don't want to get out of bed. You're just like not feeling it, and that's okay. I mean, there is a lot of us that are just not okay. I think I posted on my Instagram about PTSD from COVID. I do believe that is real. I do believe that during the whole COVID. I was blessed enough to stay home. I did not have to work as a nurse, but all of my friends were working that did not have that did not have that option. They had to go to work. I have a friend who caught COVID, was very, very sick. She had 4 kids, single mom, and in that predicament where there is no plan B. When you're the only one that's making the money, you have to go to work. And I do know that a lot of people are saying, well, you're a nurse and you signed up for that, and that was, something that you should have been expected. And
Like,
it's kind of like sending a fireman into a fire with no water. That's basically what they were asking us to do. No gown, no gloves, no mask, no hand sanitizer, none of the basic needs.
and
And that
especially
was,
initially, because they didn't know what was
yeah,
happening. So they were like, just go care for the patient.
right. And when I quit my job and I was doing eBay full time and reselling on Poshmark full time during that time, it wasn't, can I do it? It was like, I have to do it more. It was more pressure on me to make $1 or to make $2, or it was just so much more pressure. And then my husband is high risk. My mom is high risk. My mom stayed home. She was a teacher, and my husband had to go to work. So he was the only one that was being really like exposed, and he was high risk himself. And so I think that constant pressure, that constant tensionness, because as a healthcare worker, you're basically conditioned to be kind of numb with your feelings on the job. You can't cry on the job. There's no room for you to cry because you literally have someone's life in your hands. You can't cry. You can't show emotion. You have to kind of keep it down. And then when you clock out, that's the point where you can actually be emotional. And I felt that like working, I had to kind of keep my emotions in check because I was worried, can I pay my bills or can I do this? And then after, there was no clocking out. There was no time for me to like stop that.
Right.
I had to do that 24/7. Worrying about is my mom going to get sick, or is my husband I'm going to get sick? What am I going to do if I get sick?
Right.
I'm their only caretaker. Getting sick was not an option for me. And so I think that pressure just continues because now that a lot of nurses have left the workforce field and are selling on Poshmark and on eBay and are finding other types of hustles or other types of income streams to come in, because I don't know if people know this, working for 30 years and retiring is not an option anymore.
It's not. I don't think it's
not an option
for us. I don't feel like I'll be doing that at the same job.
Who wants to work for a company for 30 something years and retire?
And at some point, right, your income will cap out. They cannot and will not pay you any additional income for the responsibilities you have at that job. They'll say, okay, you're at 5280. You can't go higher than that. We won't pay you higher than that. So, and you're worth more than that, and you're putting in more effort because they also want more from you each additional year as well.
Right.
Their what's the word? I can't even think of the word, but just their needs all of a sudden become so much greater every single year. Those requirements of what you need to do in order to keep that job become more every year. But your income can easily cap out and never change, especially if you stay there or try to stay there 30 years.
Right.
And I was going to say about the pressure, I totally agree. It's like I kept visualizing like a Coca-Cola bottle. You keep shaking it, you keep shaking it. Nursing is like that. Pharmacy is like that. And then it's just like COVID comes because it's already kind of a volatile situation because families are sick, people are sick, right? And you need to care for them. Sometimes it's an emergency situation. There's surgery. There's all of these things, right? So you're already shaking the bottle. So once COVID came, it was like you're trying to keep the lid on, but the bottle's about to explode everywhere.
Right.
And it's a lot. Because you're right, you are worried about your own family. And then for me, I worked every day of the pandemic. And it was interesting because actually at one point, like I guess that was March timeframe, for a month and a half, they cut the staff in half. But in the evening time, I didn't have a partner, so I was there every single day. I was worried I would get COVID and then bring it home to my granny, who is like 80 something years old now, or and then it would spread throughout my entire family. I'm
Right.
like, it was just petrifying. It
Right.
was.
Right.
And you're like, at least everyone else gets to spend at least half their time at home.
Yeah.
But I've been there.
We didn't have that option. It was either work or stay home. There was no gray area for healthcare workers. And I remember one of the things that Kamala, our vice president, said is that the healthcare workers were treated like sacrificial lambs. And that was the word I think people needed to hear. And there was another comment recently by Governor Cuomo of New York. He said, it takes a special type of person that when there's a fire, a person that's going to run towards that fire to save somebody rather than run away. And healthcare workers, we have to run into the fire with nothing. Yep. No protection.
In the beginning, there was nothing, right?
There was nothing. Wearing dish soap gloves, wearing trash bags as gowns. It was really, really, really bad. So I think that stress has now just tumbled over, and I think really making goals for your business and really just hunkering down. That's why I will be going through all these bins. Ooh, sorry, this side. Oh, there we go. And pulling all the brands that I know that are just not selling that were and I'm just going to restart from scratch and really hope that that's going to boost my my sales. I want to talk about bots and Poshmark because that's been a controversial topic, and I've saw a couple of YouTube videos for some big closets on Poshmark. I'm not going to name their names, but they're big. They're way bigger than I am. They're grossing more than 100,000 on Poshmark or more. And basically, they admitted that they use bots. They didn't say the words, "Oh, I use bots," but very, very, very obvious that they use bots. I plan to do a YouTube video on this topic too, but bots is against Poshmark's terms of service. Let's just put that out there. I'm going to say it again. Poshmark is against bots as their term, but Poshmark allows bots on their service, if that makes sense. Poshmark's not dumb. They're not stupid. They know which closets have bots. And those bots, do you know what it is, though?
Say it again.
Do you know what a bot is?
I don't know if I really know what it is. It almost just seems, I think of like a robot, somebody performing the action.
Basically, that's what it is. Okay. It basically shares your whole closet automatically without you having to do it yourself.
Okay.
I've never used a bot on Poshmark. Never. I've shared manually since I've got on.
I'm like, how do you even get a bot? Like, where do I get one from?
You pay for it. You pay for the service. There's a lot of bot services out there that are making very good money because a lot of people are using it. Exactly. So that comes to the point back with Poshmark. Poshmark knows that there's a bunch of closets that are using bots. They obviously can tell on their server because the platform Poshmark is owned by Poshmark. Like they can actually go in and tell who's using bots, who is not. I mean, they're not dumb. They're not idiots. But these big closets that have over 5,000 listings is generating a lot of money into Poshmark using these bots because they're sharing and they're getting to the top of their algorithm. But like I said in my video of how I got banned, exactly. And like I've also said in my video, my post on Instagram about how they're preferring big name closets like Old Navy, all the big ones, Anthropologie, Free People. They're getting to the top of the algorithm without even sharing.
Right.
So what's wrong with using a bot then?
That's a good question.
I don't see that there's nothing wrong with it. But again, I'm going to say it again because I know there's going to be some people that be like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. Using a bot on Poshmark is against their terms. and policies of that platform. So if you use a bot and they cancel your store, because Poshmark has shut down some stores for using bots, they have every right to.
It's their stuff,
It's
right?
against their terms and service.
Yeah.
But I think the big stores that are bringing in lots of money and they're using a bot, I don't think Poshmark's going to shut them down. I just don't. I just don't see it because it benefits them too much money. Mm-hmm. And these people have been using bots for like years. I'm talking big closets that are generating over 100,000, that are on track to reach over 250,000 this year in sales. They have VAs, people listing for them. They have warehouses of product. I'm not talking the small little closet. I'm talking about the big closets that are selling and that are really making like good money. Larissa in the chat said, I tried one in a trial and I'm still not to the point where I can pay for it. Oh, wow. How much is it?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Because there's so many like different prices. So
I think because when I made that video about putting Poshmark, so many people commented that they were using some kind of service of some sort. They're like, yeah, I don't like sharing, so I'm using something to help me. I'm like,
yeah, then there's some that are not bots, but because you're still sharing. It's a bot.
Right.
Let me make it very clear. If you are not sharing your closet and not doing share on every item on
like if your thumbs,
I don't care what lie you tell yourself, it is a bot. You know?
Is that because your thumbs and your pointing fingers are not sore?
Well, I'm going to leave you to yourself for 1 second because I got to go use the restroom. So excuse me. So talk to Larissa and I'll be right back. Let me put you in this. It should go to you though. Let's go to you. And I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for joining us, Larissa. Okay, so you said you tried one. Okay, a trial. I just don't want to pay to spend the extra money. That makes sense because you're thinking, okay, well, I guess I can share if I had to. It just takes so much. Can I ask you, so how often do you share your closet, Larissa? Because I don't know. Back then, I would never even get through even a third of my closet usually when I would share. It would just be like, okay, I'm at a stoplight, share. I'm going to the restroom, share. I'm going from my desk to the kitchen, share, you know? So it took a lot of effort. But as we're talking about, I was like, I don't know if this is good for my mental health or good for my relationships, you know, because I'm never paying attention to either who I'm talking to on the phone or who I'm speaking with in person because I'm always sharing. And I'm like, that's not a good look. And not to say that you can just put up your listings and then forget them forever, because you really should be like, if something's not selling, you should be modifying the listing or the description, the title, that kind of thing to see if you could still sell that item. But I'm just like, sharing just is not my cup of tea.
I'm back.
Oh, hey.
Sorry about that. I had to go to the bathroom real quick. Isn't it? So telling you, everything's live here. We do everything live here.
You're so silly. We were just talking about Poshmark sharing. I was asking Larissa like how often she usually manually shares her closet.
I used to share my closet in the morning and then late at night. And a lot of people say that more sales are coming at night. I think that's when people got off work. I'm assuming
that makes sense. So I would have quite a few like overnight sometimes too. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not as many in the morning. Although I feel like eBay, that stuff sells all day. You wake up to sales. I get sales at work. I had one before I left work today. I was like, yeah, boy.
I got her addicted onto the eBay train. I swear to God, she never looked back.
Choo choo. I'm on it. Let's go.
Because eBay is the biggest platform out there to sell anything. Number one, you can sell cars on eBay. It's crazy. eBay can sell anything. Anything.
And everything is selling. Like, you even think like, okay, you're saying like, we're talking about the brands. On Poshmark, it feels like only certain brands sell, or certain trendier items sell
Mhm.
on eBay, if the person likes it, they buy it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, great, that's all I need.
Mhm.
And it could be, let's say, jeans from 2007, but it could be their favorite jeans, or it could be
Mhm.
their favorite style of a tunic blouse. They just buy it. And normally, no questions asked. I'm like, oh, eBayers, I love when you don't ask questions, you just buy.
Right. Right.
Always. I don't know, did
Right.
you say something? Oh, no, she did it. But
Yeah.
yeah. And so you and the bots. But yeah, I was interested to see that quite a few people had responded to say they had been using some additional service or had
Mhm.
considered it, or also considered getting a virtual assistant to help her share. One girl
Right.
said that she had 900 listings, and she
Mhm.
was like, okay, I listened to the video and I'm finally thinking about just at least getting a virtual assistant to help
Right.
me, because I'm like, your 10 fingers isn't quite enough to do it all forever.
Right.
So that's important. And that's another big thing too. So for all of you guys out there that you're at the point where you can afford help, and it's to the point where it's just too much for you to ship. In that case, once it gets, because I've heard that before, that once it gets too much for you to actually ship yourself,
Mhm.
start small and try to get a little help, maybe
Mhm.
just a few short hours a week, something.
Yeah.
Because if you drive yourself insane and you just
Mhm.
psychologically, mentally go crazy because you're trying to do it all, it's
Right.
not good for you. It's no longer even
Mhm.
fun, or you may not even care if it's profitable anymore if you're like,
Right.
I have to do everything all the time, all day.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it's okay to ask for help and find help if you need it.
Right. That's
And even
true.
right, and even in the case of just when you're feeling overwhelmed and like there's
Mhm.
no one that you can turn to, like you really have to figure out like, who can you call? Is it a friend? Is it a
Mhm.
family member? To really ask for help and tell them that you're not doing okay. And can they
Right.
come visit, or can you come over there?
Right. Right. Yeah, you need to know where your limit is. Right now, I'm a one-person show, so I do my marketing, I do my shipping, I do my sharing, I do my listing, I do everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do have my husband. He's not really involved in my business just yet, but that will be changing once I start getting pallets, because he works at a warehouse, so he has a lot of experience in that, and organizing and really doing the hard label of actually
Yeah.
sorting pallets. A lot of people think that, oh, getting a pallet is going to be so easy. Doesn't work that way.
Stuff. That's all stuff.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. You're
Yeah.
you're talking thousands of dollars. There's some pallets that are like $3,000-$4,000 or $5,000, and then you're paying for shipping
As well. And so how much stuff comes in a pallet?
up to 500 to 1,000.
Oh, wow. That's a lot
And
of
and
stuff.
you're thinking about 10% of that is damaged because that's
Right.
just
At least
normal.
roughly, right? Yeah.
And then you're thinking, are you getting returned or are you getting new tags? Obviously, the new tag pallets are going to be more. Talking about the $7,000 range plus shipping of freight, which is just the shipping of the freight is about $300 alone.
Wow.
And these are liquidations that are in California. They're like an hour from my house.
Really?
Yeah, they're not even out of state.
And you're like, you're not even shipping them anywhere.
Exactly. And then when they deliver it, you need to know if they're going to have if you have a pallet jack, because some delivery companies will not deliver it in your driveway because they don't want to crack your driveway, so they'll leave it in the street, like literally. So my husband and he was telling me, you'll need to buy a pallet jack, which is like $300 to $400.
Like, how much is that?
Exactly. So getting into liquidation is more where I want to pivot my business eventually, but I will still be thrifting as currently as right now. Once I get rid of all this stuff. So
Yeah, that's fine. Got you.
I'm going to purge all this stuff behind me and really just list stuff that I know is going to sell. There's a bunch of stuff that I've listed that I should have never even got, but those are first time mistakes. And if you have a good, deal, you want to pick it up, but
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't do that. You
It's
shouldn't just pick
hard.
up.
It's hard to say no. It really
Yeah.
is sometimes. Well,
Levi's is not a good resale value, in my opinion.
really, and
It
it's
just
crazy
isn't. No.
because it's the one. What is it? Ryan and Jack. I was telling you guys about that. Their YouTube before. They Levi all day. 505, 570.
Yeah.
I'm just listing numbers, guys, but like, because they love like the vintage Levi's, but somehow they're selling all of that. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it's,
And those are more specialty,
like the style and
yeah, those are more like hard styles. Obviously 501s will sell. I'm not saying that none of them will sell, but the average like Levi jeans that you're gonna get, you can probably sell for maybe 15 to 25. It's just not worth it for me to go and source that. It's just not.
That makes sense though.
You know, I want to source items that I want to at least get 25 to 30 back. Now, I can source items that are really cheap. There's actually a thrift store near my house I have not been to, but I've been hearing about it, and which I might donate these clothes to them. They have 50-cent items, and you can buy in bulk. I've called the owner of the store, and they are actually a nonprofit for domestic violence, and they have a lot of donations because the Goodwills near my area are just filled with donations. They're not even taking any. So now all the mom and pops are taking donations now, and so they have where you can buy in bulk. So I might actually, if I can get something of Levi's for 50 cents and flip it for 10, yes, I will do that all day long.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Depending on how inexpensive you can get them. Well, Larissa said she has a small closet and she does about 3 times a day. How small is small, Larissa?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I think my closet at least is and was whatever. Maybe
I had up to 1,000 listings in my closet.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I still only had maybe about 300. Maybe was that like 406 or something like that.
Yeah. So have you tried ThreadUp? I know you have the bags.
I still have not, but because I have nothing to put in said ThreadUp bags. I'm like, what am I putting in here? I don't even know.
But at least you have ThreadUp labels. They have stopped with me for about a while.
I don't think I have labels. I just have the bag.
You just have the bag. Yeah, I can't even get a bag. I can't get a label. They cut me off.
I'm so curious about it though, for real, because I see that people are still sending in items.
I make 2,000 on ThreadUp.
Yeah. Can you tell me what was the update again? That update that happened like a few months back. I forget what it was.
There's a lot, and they change without even letting people know. So this platform does not give a crap about anybody but themselves.
It's not for
resale. Another one.
Like you said, right? It's not for
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen, I think it's Trashin' with Fashion. I think that's her Instagram name. She sent in over 30 boxes to ThreadUp.
That is insane.
She claims that they were worth over $100,000. The clothes in those boxes, like they were high end. And ThreadUp lost them all.
Conveniently, or what?
That's what I'm saying.
Conveniently,
they lost all of these 30 boxes.
I'm not talking about 2 boxes, 30 boxes.
30, 35, something up in that area. They said that they lost it. They don't have it anymore. So they offered to give her $1,500 for all these 30 boxes. And they X'd out the boxes off of her account like it wasn't even there. So the last time that she posted on that was that she was going to sue them. She had an attorney ready to sue. So ThreadUp is shady too. But the big change with ThreadUp was when you used to send your stuff in, you used to be able to, you used to be able to reclaim.
Oh yes.
Like they would, yeah. Now you can't reclaim until the last, I think, 3 days that they're listed. Okay. Before, you used to be able to reclaim and take them off of the website like within 2 days. So they were taking pictures, measuring, posting, all for nothing because you were taking them off the website. And on top of that, you used to use free shipping on everything. Now you can't do that. And then people would max out their prices. So on ThreadUp, a Banana Republic dress would be going for $300 to $400. Crazy.
What?
Yeah. And it wouldn't sell, obviously. And then ThreadUp would be wasting all that time listing, holding your item. So they cut up, which a lot of their changes I agree with. but the way that they went about it was shady. With eBay, any change that eBay does, they will tell you years in advance. Like, I'm literally telling you, they will tell you years.
They say this is coming, this is
This is
coming.
coming. Now they do have those updates where they said add item specifics. I hate that. I hate those updates. They don't tell you.
Like,
They
I
just
have
pop
400
up, and all of a
items
sudden you have to edit like 500
no.
listings. It's a pain in the ass. But
it happened for shoes recently. Did you see
Mhm.
that? Where all the shoes, and you would go in and you'd be like, well, no, the size is still there. What are you talking about? And I'm like, it's okay. Let me just update it and move on. So that's another mental health thing, guys, like for real. Because we can't control these platforms, right? Because it's the same as the company where you work. You can't control the CEO and people who are up here in the company. So when they make changes, you basically have to either get on board or get out.
Yep.
Right?
Jump on the train or
jump on the train or get out.
Yeah. There's no other
Truth.
plan. Right.
Especially when you put so much time and effort into the different platforms. And for ThreadUp, when I say I was watching videos where people were making like $6,000-$7,000 a month because they were like, I don't have to do any work. I basically find a great item, send it to them, they list it, describe it, take the photos, measurements, everything for me, and then just send me the money. I'm like, we're all signed up for that. Like, who hasn't signed up for that?
Exactly. And ThreadUp was dealing with the customer service, the return issues, and all that. So that gravy train has stopped. And in the first time that ThreadUp was around, you used to be able to send in your stuff and get immediate payouts on some of the items because ThreadUp thought that was going to sell really quickly, so they would offer you to be paid out. Like, those were the days of ThreadUp. Now ThreadUp has wind out. During the pandemic, ThreadUp did not suffer at all. They actually quadrupled their business. They did shut down a warehouse.
Okay.
I think that's why they're behind on processing like kits. And stuff like that. But they are making extremely good money, and they're public now. So their business has gone public, and so has Poshmark. So once Poshmark and ThreadUp, I think, went public, they kind of went to shit. In my opinion, they don't give a shit about anybody.
Wow. But it's like that's their decision, right? They can make those decisions, and unfortunately, it just affects all the little people.
Yep, that's true.
You get on the train, get on there or get out, basically. It's crazy. But I mean, it's also part of why it's important to build your own thing outside of all of these platforms too, right? Outside of YouTube, outside of Poshmark and eBay, because you are not the CEO. You are not overseeing that. So like one of the best things you can do is to really build, as you're building these things on the platforms and on YouTube and all that stuff, building your own brand. So your name is a brand. So you have a website, you collect people's emails, and you have an email list. Like, maybe you're developing your own line of clothes. Like, seriously build your own brand along the way. Because if tomorrow, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Poshmark, eBay, if everything shuts down overnight, you need to still be able to make income.
Right.
You have your own website, and let's say your own, and you can even, of course, resell on your own website as well. But your own website and you're selling items on there, or digital courses, or paper products and e-courses, all that stuff, e-books, you can still make income. So make sure you're building in more than one area. So building multiple streams of income. So don't, put everything, all those eggs in one basket. I'm putting everything in Poshmark, everything in eBay, all on YouTube, all on Instagram, and you don't own not a one of those.
Right.
So put a lot of eggs in your own basket as well. Say, okay, this is for me. This website's for me. This email list is for me. Okay, this e-course, this ebook, put something in your own basket.
Yep.
Super important. What did Larissa say? She keeps trying to get to 100, but things sell everywhere. I keep deleting from everywhere.
Yeah, it's hard to get past that.
It is. Although it's good that you're selling things, so it means you're buying great items, right? That people are looking for.
I
So,
used to float like a 100 forever. I couldn't, because every time I hit it, I would sell like 20 items. I would hit
mm,
100, I would sell 30 items. I was like, damn, I can never like get over that 100. But once you get over it, then I think you'll start seeing more consistent sales and daily sales past 500 items. I think that's when it gets like daily.
I'm
You'll
looking
start.
for it. I'm like 406 girl. I'm like, come on, Gina. I'm like, I have been like every day. I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
It's hardcore. It's definitely
Right.
not easy, and it takes
Right.
a lot of time. It
Yeah.
does, but it's like everything else, though, right? One day at a time,
That's right. One day at a time.
one item at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And I mean, it's one of those things though too, like we were talking about looking at your numbers for YouTube. Like when you don't obsess about the number of followers, number of subscribers, your number of listings, just
It's just a number. That's one thing that Nicole State, I don't know if everyone follows her. I do. I love her. Um, she always reinstates that it does not matter. It does not matter.
mhm,
It does not matter. If you're making good content and you're enjoying yourself and you're really, the followers will come. But it
right.
does not matter whether right now I have 200 followers, and that's okay with me. Like I'm not going to be like obsessing like, oh my god.
And it's really amazing that, right, 200 people that you don't know are following you for your content.
Right.
You know, it really is amazing, but it's sometimes hard because we're, like you were talking about before, the state of comparison, right? Comparing what we make when we're reselling, comparing how many followers to someone else's. You know, it's so easy when we're obsessing over all the numbers. And it's not good for your mental state.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, you'll be like, well, am I even going to get to 200 subscribers? But because you're
Right.
comparing yourself to someone else rather than giving
Right.
people the value in the content.
And I read somewhere that they were comparing someone that had 1 million followers on YouTube to someone that only had 30,000 followers on YouTube. The person that had $30,000 was making more money than the person that had 1 million.
Wow.
So it does not matter in that analytics too, because people who are following the 30,000 followers maybe watching those videos longer. So not only is your clicks, how many people are clicking on your video, is the retention. How
Mhm.
long are people watching your video? So when you click on my videos, I have like a little commercial. It has my face, it has my name, and that goes for about 50 seconds. So I make sure that I'm keeping them for at least that 50 seconds. Then the video starts. I introduce myself, what the video is going to be about. So that's already probably about 2-3 minutes. And then
Mhm.
I start talking. I get into what my video is about immediately. I don't sugarcoat it. And
Right.
then,
I heard that really helps.
so right. So my video that got over 1,000 views is my retention rate is about 9 minutes. That's a
Mhm.
lot for a 14-minute video.
Yeah, I think the one I did too was about the same. It's like maybe a little under 9 minutes. And I'm like, I'm
Right.
even surprised, right, that people stayed to that halfway mark. So I'm like, our attention span is like, if you don't have me in the first 2 minutes.
Yep. Exactly.
So it's amazing that people even stay that long. But yeah, it's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's weird because when there's a lot to learn,
Mm-hmm.
that's sometimes discouraging. But I don't know, really just like we said, one day at a time, one listing at a time. Just really just
Mm-hmm.
keep going. Like you keep your head down, and I just keep going. Like people ask, okay, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going. That's it. That's all I know I'm gonna do. Is that settling for less than, as I would say, this is not for everybody, but as I would say, settling for less than what God has made me for is not okay. So you just put your head down and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So how many YouTube videos is your goal to make per week?
For me, I would say, well, I guess this is what I was thinking about recently because I know we've talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
But so one live, which is what we're doing with Reseller T, and then one video that I'm doing on my own. So
Good.
have both of those out there would be great. And I think because I was trying to think of a day that I wanted to have consistently, so then you could set a premiere. And I might end up doing Friday because it seems to be a day where I can just at the end of the week
Right.
finally get the video out.
Right, right. Have you thought about batching your work? Have you thought about that? I've been really watching Vanessa Lau. That's another YouTuber that I really like. She has a wonderful course,
Yeah.
how to turn your clients into followers and how to do a course. I
Mhm.
do eventually see myself going that route too. I really want to teach people how to leave their corporate jobs and be an entrepreneur and find out what you truly love and find out your passion. I think
Mhm.
that's something that I would love to do.
Sure.
Also, but she batches her work, which means like on one day she'll film like 7 videos, like
Right.
7, or she'll film all of her TikTok content and her YouTube content, and then set it out to be live on certain days. So I really want to try that. I really want to.
I had considered it too because I
Hmm.
was thinking the same thing. Like, because it's kind of like how you batch when
Hmm.
you take your photos when
Right.
you're selling, where you're like, okay, I'm going to do all 15 of these shirts now, or all 15 pairs of jeans. It's a similar thing where you, since you're not getting up and down and trying to go and eat in between, you're just saying, okay, we're going to go, go, go. We're going to do this one thing all day. Your brain can stay focused and intentional on that one thing.
Right.
So it definitely makes sense. But I haven't tried yet. I do kind of batch like TikTok videos
Hmm.
sometimes, but mostly because they're so quick, So I'll
Right.
shoot 3 or 4 at a time. So then when I don't have time, you could still put them out.
Hmm.
So yeah, I do like that idea. And then how many did you want to do, 1 or 2 videos, or even more than that per week for YouTube?
I would like to do 3 videos for YouTube per week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then I also might do a vlog channel. So I might do,
I
I'm
really like the
thinking,
thought of that. I do, like you can't help
yeah,
but like just want to kind of
so
take your camera with you
exactly.
and show your life.
So I'm
Makes
thinking
sense.
of doing a happy birthday for this channel, which is, I think it's going to be sooner. Yeah, I think it's next month, which will be my 1 year having my YouTube channel. So
Yeah.
I want to do a happy birthday, a cake for my channel. And then I think on that day, I'll do my vlog channel. I'll start my vlog and start vlogging all my personal stuff and what it's like to be a nurse and what it's like to be
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
entrepreneur and really open those realms. So
Yeah. I feel like I kind of feel like I don't know if it really takes less editing or it's just I guess it depends on what kind of
yeah.
what kind of experience you're trying to give. And I
Hmm.
really kind of just want to be me and for you to see all the blubs and oh I said like too much. Oh I said too much. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to cut all of that out to
Right.
make me seem like, oh, I'm no. I'm like, I don't see the point.
Hmm.
I know people do that, or like when I get tongue tied and I'm like, look, this is me,
Right.
This is me kind of thing. So I like the idea of a blog.
Right. And I really want to flip my followers, which means I have 3,700 followers on Instagram and I only have 200 on YouTube. So I really want to flip that. I really want to grow my YouTube channel where I'm having more
Yes.
followers. And so
Mhm.
I really want to get that. And I do want to start getting to the Pinterest game. I've been told that if you start really working on your boards and pins, you'll be getting a lot of more followers that way too.
That would be interesting because, like, remember we were talking, but I guess I've used it a little bit for the thought of if you have a blog, but I guess I've never thought to say, like, let's say you put your thumbnail. I never thought about that, girl.
Hmm.
Put your thumbnail onto Pinterest
Hmm.
of your YouTube video, and then you could
Yes.
really bring, like, you could literally because you can add a link.
Yeah.
So why not instead of leading them to a shop, leave your YouTube link?
Yeah.
That could work. Sure
A lot
could.
of people have been doing that. They have like a board of all their YouTube channels,
Mhm.
all of their YouTube videos, and so they've been doing that. So
That could be cool because let's say it's a
I don't know if
resale.
you watch Catherine Manning.
Yes, I just found her. She's
Yeah,
super interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
and her blog and her style of editing is really interesting.
yeah. She started off on blogging and on her Pinterest. She's
Right.
one of the reasons why I use my own name. She used to
Mm,
be the content bug, and then she switched
right.
to her name, um, Catherine. And using your own name on social media has its ups and downs. People search you, find you. Who cares?
Yeah.
Really don't. Maybe you have that much time in your hand. You must
Really.
really love me. You must really want to be like in me or like follow me or you show up to my house. I am very secure here with a lot of cameras, so you're gonna go straight to jail.
Uh, and I live next to the police, so you can come on over.
Yeah,
Like,
you're gonna go
next door.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
you can meet him next door. Go
You're
ahead.
gonna go right to jail. Exactly. So, but I just really think it takes a lot of bravery to come onto social media. The reason why I did it was because of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. I just felt I just couldn't be silent. I didn't want to die. Not if I get killed, God forbid I don't. But I just thought of someone of color and minority. If you are murdered, did you did you live your life to the fullest?
Mm-hmm.
Were you able to reach people? So
makes sense. It does.
mm-hmm.
It really does. Man, girl, we went almost an hour.
I know we're almost an hour. I think we're gonna let it go at this time. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know if Larissa said anything else. Oh, eBay even has a form where it's at the bottom of the seller hub.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, Larissa. I do like to be informed with everything that they're doing, and it's nice.
Yeah, and they have eBay open too, which I hope to go. Not this year, maybe next year.
Girl, this year's almost over. Look.
I know. June 16th, California is officially opening with no mask, no more social distancing. We have the lowest infection rate in the country in all 50 states, and we are the third in the world with the lowest infection rate, and we have 0 hospitalizations of COVID for like the past 3 months straight. Yeah.
Texas is not like that, although Texas is really not that bad compared to what it used to be like, okay? We're doing good.
Governor's crazy. I know he came out with that anti-abortion at 6 weeks.
I saw that. Mm-hmm.
That was that hits the medical community. Whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, whatever you believe in is your choice. I'm not here to bash or to go. But as a healthcare worker, as a nurse, you have to put your personal beliefs aside and always be there for your patients. And there's going to be a lot of young teens that are going to be coming in that thought that they could terminate this pregnancy, and they can't. We're not here to judge people. You can't judge. You're not in that person's shoes. You don't know what's going on. What about the women that are pregnant and will have a life-threatening condition that if they have the baby, they'll die? What about the women that are raped? Yeah. It's like abortion is such a hard topic. It's not so cookie cutter. It's not
black and white as we want.
It's not, and it's not a topic that, in my opinion, that the government should be interfering with. That's just my opinion. Whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, it's not a topic where I think anyone can tell a woman what to do with their body.
You should be able to decide. I agree.
You should be able.
Yeah, and I totally agree. It's kind of gray.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really one side or the other because there's just so many. It could easily be multi-layered.
Yeah, there's so many what if.
Mm-hmm. And then what if? Yeah, true.
Yeah. So we're almost heading into an hour. I think we're going to cut it close. Thank you for joining us, Larissa. You came to our first one too.
We really appreciate you.
Yeah. So thank you. Come on back. Don't forget to join Kanisha's IG. I put it in the comments right here. And her YouTube channel. Don't forget to go over there and subscribe. And I am on Jennifer Reddit LLC on my IG. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel here too. And we will be coming back. We don't know. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. That's what the love about owning your own business. You make your own time. Exactly.
We hope to be coming back next week though, because we're trying to get on a schedule.
Yes, we're trying to get on a weekly schedule. That is our goal. So thank you guys for joining. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.